you can answer this question from your perspective. They keep saying, well, this is the God of Islam is the God of harshness and the God of punishment. But as you find that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala magnified bihi, that one of his name is the Al-Wudud, meaning the one who is the loving. So how can you have a loving Allah and then these people come and say, well, this is the God of punishment? How can you counter that?
My personal, I guess, belief on that would be people are fearful of what they don't know. And even a God or their view on God, if they don't know or have a clear understanding, then they'll be fearful. I guess my thoughts on this is really, it's hard for us to show you or hard for us to prove to somebody about how graceful, how simple and peaceful Islam can be if they're not willing to just take a closer look. So, I mean, I think the purpose of us talking here is at least to instill in you some sort of interest for you, at least to say, let me look a little further. Because my experiences as a new Muslim with regards to Zia's question on, my experiences with Allah and harshness and the environment being harsh and that sort of thing. I mean, I couldn't say it in any other way to say that it's anything but. Any harshness I think you see in the world is not to do with Allah. It's about political, cultural problems, economics, territories, man. In the simplest sense, I mean, here we are sitting together, and maybe we'll show you the video of us trying to create this video, and then you'll understand the laughter as we were sitting here trying to tape this.
We'll put it at the very end.
You'll really see the true meaning of just two people trying to impart a message by getting a little laughter going as we're taping this. Yeah. And then maybe just by playing that laughter, you'll really understand, hey, that's actually Islam in a sense right there.
And I think also we have to realize that the ones who are watching, say for example, if you're a Christian, you realize that the Quran states that the closest to you in faith are the ones who call themselves the helpers of Christ. Because when they hear the message of Islam, they actually, they certify the truth, and to the point that their eyes well up with water. So the closest one to faith for us, for Muslims, are the ones who are called Christians. So in order for the news media to be out there to say that, we are calling them infidels. By the way, the word infidel itself, infidelity means that people of no faith. There's no possible way that the Muslims could call the Christians infidels, because fidelity means that they have faith. And we call the Christians and the Jews the people of the book, Ahl al-Kitab, meaning there are people who have been given rightly guided scriptures. And these are the people who were guided by Allah previously. And the last of the messengers, Prophet Muhammad, peace upon him, he came. So the stigma that has been put on the Muslims' head that we call every Christian and Jew infidel, this is totally erroneous. Infidels were called from the Crusaders' standpoint of view, of even the Christians who did not actually follow their own precept or their own narrow vision. They were called infidels. So or heretics, or totally outside their way of thinking or philosophy. So with this in mind, even Salahuddin, or you would call him Saladin, when he went to Jerusalem, he actually assisted a group of Christians who were afraid of the Crusaders themselves, assisted them where they were going, and when the Muslim army left, the Crusaders actually killed their own Christian brethren, and therefore you have derived the term infidel from there, meaning somebody who does not have faith. So there's no way that Muslims are calling or Christians and Jews infidels. It's totally a misnomer. So my point for you would be that if you're a Christian watching, if you're a Jew watching, that we have no animosity towards you, that we are not the ones that are portrayed on CNN because CNN would like to sell these commercials. We're not the ones on Fox News because they would like to sell the commercial. Actually, you would be much safer on the streets of Cairo than you would be on the streets of Chicago. I mean, not to say that the streets of Chicago are bad, but if you look at it from a from a point of view of violence or point of view of threat, that you would be much safer in Muslim lands than you would be in some of the streets in so-called America. Now, with that in mind, every human being has a right to search for what they want. I mean, if you live in a democracy, you should be able to actually search whatever you want. Why is it when it comes to Islam, it becomes a backseat or it becomes horrible? Actually, by the way, it is the fastest growing way of life on earth. And Allah states that in the Quran, لِيُذْهِرَ عَلَى دِينِ كُلِّ وَكَفَى بِاللَّهِ شَهِيدًا. That Allah supersedes, that this way of life, meaning Islam, will supersede all walks of life, and Allah is witness unto that. So it is a promise made in the Quran by itself, and you can see it by statistics.